breaking news from RTV6.
And all across the state and all across the city and all across this room, people care about our family and all of our families. And it's really, really an awesome, awesome day.
That is the reaction to the breaking news this afternoon. A federal appeals court rules Indiana's same-sex marriage ban is unconstitutional. This is the second time a court has ruled this way. The ban thrown out by a federal appeals court just 9 days after the judges heard arguments in the case. It's a huge victory for those hoping to legalize gay marriage. RTV6's Drew Smith talked to those plaintiffs this afternoon, and he starts our live team coverage. Drew.
Todd, it certainly is a day for same-sex couples here in Indiana to celebrate. This is the 40-page ruling handed down by the appellate court in Chicago, and it contains some pretty strong language focused on the word discrimination, saying that Indiana discriminates against same-sex couples. Now, in the lawsuit, or in the ruling rather, the court said that the harm to gay and lesbian people of being denied the right to marry is considerable. Now, many of the same-sex couples who are plaintiffs in the ACLU's lawsuit have children. People like Stephen Stolen and Rob McPherson, a gay couple that got married in 2008 in California. They have a 16-year-old daughter that they adopted as an infant. The couple says this is a victory for children of same-sex couples everywhere.
It is great for children all across Indiana and eventually all across the country to say, my parents are married. Yeah. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
I'll also tell you, and the other reason I think, yes, it is generational, but the younger generation right now, Abby talking about her life to anybody completely opens up their eyes and truly, I think, opens up the door for them to walk in to say, you know what, I get it now. It's not that big of a deal.
Now, the plaintiffs that I talked to today said they're fully prepared to take this all the way because they expect that this case is going to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington. Reporting live downtown, Drew Smith, RTV6.
Thank you, Drew. And continuing our coverage right now, today's decision came with hope for at least one couple who hope to marry today. RTV6 reporter Chris Profit is in our newsroom with that story. Chris.
And Todd, it was a disappointment for that couple, as you mentioned, who'd hoped that today's ruling would clear the way for them to get married. You'll remember back in June when hundreds of couples lined up for days to get married at the Marion County Clerk's office. Clerk Beth White said around 4:30 this afternoon that her office can't issue licenses because she has to uphold the stay, but that they're prepared to do that when they get clearance. Katie Burris and Evangeline Cook had hoped today's ruling meant that they could finally get married.
We actually were out of town when they first legalized it, and we were really disappointed the day we came back. It had been appealed, and so we've been basically, well, at least I've been checking my phone every day, seeing if there's been, the appeal had been overturned, and then it was.
And so how do you feel today?
Really excited. I came from Hawaii, where it's already legal, and it doesn't make any sense for it not to be legal here.
Well, the couple left without a marriage license, we know that, and they told me that while they're disappointed, they believe the law is on their side and that they and other gay couples will be able to marry soon. Live in the newsroom, Chris Profit, RTV6.
A lot of people watching this closely, Chris. Thank you. Today's ruling includes some strikingly strong comments about Indiana's gay marriage ban and the reasons behind it. At one point, the judges write, the only rationale that the states, meaning Indiana and Wisconsin, put forth within a conviction that same-sex couples and their children don't need marriage because same-sex couples can't produce children, unintended or intended, is so full of holes that it cannot be taken seriously. They go on in the ruling to say the grounds advanced by Indiana and Wisconsin for their discriminatory policies are not only conjectural, they are totally implausible.